very important. Why do I say that? Because you need to know how healed you are, and how you feel is irrelevant. It's quite irrelevant, right? It's great you feel better as you make progress through the rehab, but the purpose of your rehab is to go, I'm doing a squat and I'm doing it with expert form, expert control, and I'm not aggravating myself, and I can only bear 7 kilos, because 8 kilos, I tried it yesterday afternoon and it was too much for me. I couldn't do 10 reps. My back didn't like it. Okay? So I'm sticking on 7 for a little while, and then I'll test again 8, and then I'll stick on there for a little while, and then I'll test 9. And that's how you know. You know how strong. That's the only thing you can do. The only way you can know how healed you are is to pressure test the area. But you want to pressure test it in a safe and controlled environment. You don't want to say, I think my back's healed, I'll go and do a round of golf, and then find out it isn't. That's not smart. But if you're doing rehabilitation correctly and actually following a progressive rehabilitation plan, you have an understanding of how healed your disc is. And the question shouldn't be, how do I know when I'm good for running? It's a case of, how do I know how healed my back is? It's a function of your rehabilitation. So if you've gotten up to 40 kilos on the squat, great. You're certainly a lot better than you were when you were at 10 kilos or 20 kilos on the squat, for example. You've improved resilience, objectively speaking. And it would be pretty reasonable to suggest that actually getting into running at that kind of point would be a reasonable thing to do. But then it's the strategy again. The way in which we introduce loading to our members in the program is in the phase 2 of the program. And we suggest pick up something that is so ridiculous. So all of you guys watching right now are watching on a phone, most likely. Maybe some of you guys on YouTube are watching on a TV. But more or less all of you guys are watching on the telephone, which means you have the capacity to do a squat holding a phone. How much is the phone? Go and put it on the scales and measure it. Okay, it's 200 grams. Awesome. Okay, well, I can squat with 200 grams. Okay, try something ridiculous. We say this, it's a little bit silly, but you get the idea. So with the running, we specifically state, once you've made good progress on the rehab, we specifically state get to the kind of phase 4 level of the program, which is where we're using significant amounts of load. We've done that pressure testing work. Start out with short distances, 30 seconds. A minute, something like that, and do 2 or 3 sets of that. Something so silly, of course you're going to be able to manage it successfully, because you've already done the rehab work, and then go on from there. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Focus more on your rehab. That gives you the answers. That's why we talk about it so often.